Good morning. Welcome to the Better Business Workshop. Today, we're looking at the formula for change. Look, we've all gone through an awful lot of change over the last couple of years, and we've got pretty good at adapting to it. But we're going to look today at what it takes to initiate change, how we bring about change, and how we make change happen. And I'm joined, as always, by my colleague, Gareth Hughes. Good morning, Gareth. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good, Mark. How are you?
Yes, I'm absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Looking forward to this session. This is always a good one, formula for change. So, Gareth, Walker, this looks like pretty complicated, right? But actually, it's really straightforward. So we're going to go through it. If you could walk us through step by step and let us know what it means, that'd be brilliant. But maybe kind of give us a bit of context first,
Yeah.
right? Why we need this.
Yeah. So it does look complicated, but it's really not. And I almost guarantee everyone's been through this formula at one stage or another. And I think the real obvious example are the extremes. And look, you said at the start that we've all changed in the last 18 months, and for a lot of people, the pandemic forced change, right?
Yeah.
And this formula came into play with that. But it also comes into play with in your personal life as well, like smokers or alcoholics or something like that. This formula, this cycle is going round all the time. So it looks really complicated, but let me just break it down. So on the left-hand side, you've got D times D.
And I was going to say, before you dive in, Gareth, kind of like, isn't it funny how kind of right at the beginning, actually 2 years ago, about now, we kind of went into that kind of massive panic, and we did a lot of this naturally, right? Suddenly we were incredibly dissatisfied with where we were, and we had to suddenly get really, really good at change. But isn't it funny how we kind of soon adapted to the new normal, as it became known, that awful kind of cliche phrase, and slipped back into our comfort zones again. So this is really important, because we've got to get back out, right? We've got to get back out of our comfort zone. We've got to start driving some change.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to that old. I mean, we were talking about it a few weeks ago, weren't we? Where something isn't right, but then you just slip back into your normal way of doing things without any questioning it or anything like that, or without any problem really. And people slip back into their comfort zone really easily, and that it's called a comfort zone for a reason, right? People are happy there. Okay, so I wish we didn't call it a comfort zone actually, but but if you take the left hand side of the equation here, so you've got D times V, and that stands for dissatisfaction times vision. Okay, so and what we can see at the bottom there is you mark those out of 10. Okay, so if you're trying to change something in your life, business, relationships, whatever, okay, you've got to mark yourself out of 10 as to how dissatisfied you are and how clear is your vision for how things could be. Okay. And then you've got plus F. And again, that's out of 10. And F just stands for what are the first steps? Do you know the first steps? Okay. Out of 10, do you know those first steps? All right. And if you take the extremes example I mentioned earlier, if you think about, an alcoholic, okay, they're pretty happy they're in their comfort zone drinking, right? Drinking all day. That's their comfort zone. Okay. Their dissatisfaction is pretty low. All right. Because they're pretty happy. All right. They probably don't know how good life could be without alcohol. So again, their vision is quite low. All right. And they might know the first steps. All right. They might know to go and see their GP or go and speak to someone. All right. But again, that's pretty low. All right. And then you have some sort of like healthcare, your liver fails or something like that. All right. And all of a sudden, those numbers go up. Okay. The dissatisfaction goes up. All right. The vision goes up. Okay. And all of a sudden, you've got your first steps. All right. Same with smokers. Okay. No, I've got nothing against smokers, by the way, but this does play out. All right. People smoking, they're in their comfort zone. Their dissatisfaction is pretty low. They're pretty happy smoking, so their vision isn't that, they're pretty happy going outside the pub smoking. Okay. They interact with other people, they socialize with other people while they're smoking. So their vision is pretty low as well. Okay. Again, they might know a few of the first steps, but they probably don't know all of them. Now, here's the thing, okay? That left-hand side of the equation has to be greater than 70. So when you add up your numbers out of 10, all right, what we say is it's got to be greater than 70. And 70 is your resistance, all right? Yeah. You're always going to have some resistance to change. There's always going to be that, all right? But as long as you can get the left-hand side of the equation greater than 70, change is going to happen. And I think we might have said it last week, you know, people who change are sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And that's where dissatisfaction and vision comes in. So, and that's really what this equation is all about, Mark.
Yeah, love it, Gareth. Absolutely. Look, folks, if Gareth's kind of drawn some analogies with drinking and smoking, but it's exactly the same in the business. You know, and as we said, you know, people are kind of slip back into their comfort zones. And the world's changing. The world's changing again. And it's changing right now. Everything's opening up again. Teams are coming back to work. People are out networking. We're meeting people. We're having human interaction again. Businesses are kind of getting back to normal, whatever normal was, right? But unfortunately, we're also seeing a lot that people are in their comfort zone. So you've got to be aware of that and you've got to break out of it. And the reality is, if you're not happy with what you're getting right now, you've got to do something different, right? So, and that's not going to change unless you're super, super dissatisfied with how things are. You're really, really clear in terms of where you want to go. Score yourself out of those things out of 10 and multiply them against each other. And as Gareth said, the F is the first step. By the way, it's not just one first step, right? Not one score out of 10. You can do multiple things to get your business kick-started and go and get the result you want. So every action that you take, score yourself out of 10 and add them all up together. And as Gareth said, that's all got to be greater than the resistance that you have to that change as well, which we put the threshold at 70, right? So as long as everything on the left is greater than the right, then you've got a chance of bringing around the change that you want. Gareth, it's been brilliant to see you as always today. Thank you so much. We're going to be back here again on Wednesday. So, folks, look, if you want to come and jump on a call with Gareth and I and to talk through how we can help you initiate some change in your business, book yourself on a strategy review. You can do that over on the website. Go to miltonkeynes.actioncoach.co.uk and you can book yourself a slot with Gareth and I there. There's also a ton of great content over in our VIP group. Go and join us. In fact, we'll be putting the links for these in the in this post as soon as we hit end the broadcast. We'll put the links underneath here. But you can join us over in the Better Business Workshop over on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. There's 2 thriving communities over there with tons of great content. Apart from that, Gareth, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Wednesday for some more great content. Have a fantastic day.
Cheers, Mike.